issues. This particular streaming has updated a bit late in our YouTube, in our official iNeuron YouTube channel. So people who are joining are not able to see this particular section. So let me repeat once more. So today's topic, I'm going to discuss about filters, sets, and parameters. Now, so let me clear this screen so that I can start it from the beginning. So due to some technical problem, the streaming went a bit late to the YouTube channel of iNeuron. So today I'm going to talk about filters. The filter is a very important part of day-to-day reporting. Filters allows us to get those data by excluding the unwanted data from our report. So today's topic, I will start with a filter. So there are 4 important kind of filters that I'm going to talk in today's topic. However, there are some advanced level of filters like context filters and page shelf and all. So today I'm going to talk about quick filters, visual filters, date filters, and filter shelf. To start with, I'll be using the Superstore Canada data. So I have connected this particular data, and the type of connection that I'm using for this particular data is live and extract. Now, coming back to this particular topic, so I'm using a live connection type, and the first filter that I'm going to work with is a quick filter. Now, quick filter is the most simple form of filter that we can use in Tableau. So for that, what I can do, let me select the product subcategory from the dimension section, hold on my control key, select the sales, go to show me option, and let's create a bar graph. Now in this particular bar graph, we are showing the sales of the product subcategory. So let me sort this into descending order. Let me level it in terms of the sales value for each of the product subcategory. Now what I want to apply a filter on this particular report, and the filter should be in terms of product category. Now, how can I use a product category as a filter? In order to implement a product category as a filter, I have to go and select the product category from the dimension section. Click on this downward arrow, and from this particular drop down list, let's select the show filter option. Now if I select the show filter option, you can see there are 2 changes that has happened into this particular report. The first change, the filter shelf has been updated by the product category, and the second, that there is a filter pen that has been updated in the right hand side of the screen. Now if I select the options from here, the items from here, you can see the report is getting changed. Now one more important thing that you can do over here, you can play around with, you can just edit the way this particular filter pen is interacting with the end user. For example, if I want a drop down in place of this particular check boxes, what I have to do, I have to go over here, click on this particular downward arrow, and you can see the default view is multiple view list. Now if I want to select a drop down, there's an option over here called select value drop down, and this particular filter pen will be changed, it will be converted into a drop down from where you can select the items of this particular filter. I can also customize this particular all option. I can click on this particular arrow over here, select on customize, and I can choose to move the show all value. So if I uncheck this particular option right now, you can see the all value has been removed from this list, and I can bring back this particular value again. I can also convert it into a single value list where the drop down has been converted into a radio button, and I can select one item at a time. So this is the way we can change the way this particular filter pen actually interacts with the user. Now I can keep it to the default value. Now what I want to add one more member to this particular filter pen, to this particular filter shelf. And this time I want to add the product subcategory. So I'll click on this drop down, click on show filter, and you can see the product subcategory filter has been updated into the filter shelf. Now over in the right hand side of your screen, you can see the product subcategory option has been also been highlighted. We can arrange this to groups of data. If I want this product category to be placed in the top, I can just select and drag it at the top level. Now if I select the items for the product subcategory, you can see the report is also interacting in the same way the items which I'm selecting from this particular filter pen. But the problem is that whenever I'm selecting a furniture from this above category, the product subcategory is not interacting the way I want. For example, if I select furniture, the product subcategory should also show me the furniture subcategory items, which is not showing over here as of now. So the question is how we can fix this issue. We can fix the issue with a simple option. What you can do, you can come down to this particular product subcategory, click on this particular arrow, and you have to select the value, the option over here as only relevant value. If I select this particular option only relevant value, next time if I select furniture, it will be showing only the product subcategory items related to furniture. It will only show in terms of office supply the items. If I select technology, it will only show technology. If I select all, it will select all the values in terms of the product category. But the problem is, every time I create this report, I have to do the same thing again and again. And that's not a good practice as a data analyst or a visual analytics guy. You have to make things more smart and more interactive. This is where the concept of hierarchy comes in. If you remember in my last session, when I was discussing hierarchies, I told you that hierarchies help you to implement filters and work with map features. Now let's see how hierarchy will allow me to reduce my task with just a single click. So what I can do, I can clear my screen and let's create the hierarchy in this data. If you remember when I was discussing the CRIPS DM process of BI, of executing a business intelligence project, the model that we should follow, I was discussing about the concept of data understanding. So you have to understand the data before you start reporting. It's very important that you should identify that whether this data needs any kind of hierarchy. You have to identify the hierarchy in your data. Now if you can see this particular data carefully, I can find a hierarchy over here. The hierarchy is product category, product subcategory, and product name. So I can find out 3 hierarchies over here. Now what I can do, I can click, I have selected all these 3 values from the dimension section, and I will click on any one of the value over here, and I'll go to hierarchy and I'll create hierarchy. I'll click product details. I will name this hierarchy as product details, and you can see that I was able to create a hierarchy. Now can you tell me if there any other hierarchy can you figure out from this particular data? I can figure out a geographical hierarchy in this particular data. If you can watch carefully, I can see 2 geographical values, province and region. So you can also create a hierarchy with these 2 particular data. So you can select the province, region, and then click on the region, and you can create a hierarchy. And I can name this as a region. So I have created 2 hierarchies in my data. One is region and one is product details. And you can see the icon of a hierarchy is a hierarchy icon that has been associated with each of the hierarchy data. Now that I've created a hierarchy in my data, let's create the same report and let's apply the same kind of filter and see how a hierarchy will help you to apply a filter more easily compared to the previous options that we're working on. So what I can do, I can select the product subcategory, hold on my control key, select the sales value, go to show me, select the bar graph, and we have created a bar graph. Let us sort this particular bar graph in descending order. Let us label it, and this time if I click on show filter for product subcategory and product category, and this time if I select furniture, you can see the product subcategory filter pane is working, is interacting as per the value that we are selecting from the product category section. Just because we have created a hierarchy with this particular product details, and the product category and product subcategory are the member of that particular hierarchy, I don't have to select the only relevant value so that this particular value should interact with each other. I just have to arrange the filter options over here and my work is done. Now this is a type of a hierarchy that we can create, and we can apply the filters accordingly. Now the next filter type that I'm going to talk about is an admin filter. Now what is an admin filter? Let me take a new sheet and let me rename it as admin filter. Now I've created a report over here. I'll create the same report. I'll select the product subcategory sales, go to show me, click on the bar graph, and I click on this particular sorting options, label the report. What if I want the end user to see only the value related to the product category furniture? I will not allow the end user, I cannot allow the end user to interact with this particular report. I want this report to be filtered only in terms of furniture, and the end user should see the report only in terms of filters related to furniture. For that, what I can do, I can click on this particular product category and I can drag this particular product category and bring it to the filter shelf. Now the moment I drag this particular product category to the filter shelf, there is a pop-up window option that comes up. Over here there are 4 categories: general, wildcard, condition, top. I will be talking about these options over here, but presently we'll be concentrating on this general option. Over here you can see all the product items of the product category have been listed over here. What I can do, I can select the furniture item, click on apply and OK. So the moment I click on OK, by selecting the furniture item, you can see this report has been filtered in terms of furniture. Now if I send this particular report to the end user, for example if I click on this reading view, the end user should see the report the same way that we can see in the screen right now. The end user will not have an option to change the filter items. He can only see the product subcategory related to furniture. So this is a type of admin filter. The next filter that I'm going to work with is an exclude filter. What happens if we click a report over here, and if I create a filter, I drag this product category over here into the filter shelf, you can see there's an option over here called exclude. Now exclude means the items that we are going to select under the product category will be excluded as a filter item. So if I enable this exclude option from this pop-up menu item, and after that if I select any of the items of the filter like furniture, office supplies, technology, that item will be excluded from the report. You can see there is a cross mark against over that particular item name, and if I apply, you can see this particular report is only been filtered in terms of office supplies. If I click on this particular filter now, if I show this filter, you can see the furniture and the technology has been crossed, and you can just uncheck and check that particular. So if I check this particular value, the item is excluded. If I uncheck, this item is included in the filter report. That is an exclude filter. In exclude filter, the filter items which is select get excluded. We can again click on this and you can edit this filter. You can click on edit and you can uncheck this exclude value, and this will become an include filter. Include filter means now if I select any item, that will be included in over here. This is an exclude filter. The next filter that I'm going to talk about is a wildcard filter. Now, for example, if I click on this particular filter and click on edit filter, if I check, this wildcard option is there over here, right? If I click on this wildcard option gives us conditions, certain conditions by which we can filter our report. Now suppose if in place of product subcategory I bring a product name. Now there is a huge collection of product name. So there are at least, you can, if you can see over here in the left hand side down corner, there are 1263 rows of data that has been included in the product name option. What I want to apply a product wildcard filter in this particular report. I want to find the items which are related to printers. So I don't remember the items which are related to printers. I only remember the word printer with me in my mind. So what I can do, I can click on this particular product category, click on edit filter, go to wildcard, and let me write printers over here. And I should select the condition as contain and apply. Just a minute. So I'll select the product name, sales. I'll go to sorting option over here. I can bring the product name as a filter. I go to wildcard and write printers over here. And if I click apply, you can see that this particular report has been filtered with all the items which contains the name printer. So if I drag this particular option over here, you can see all the items that has been appearing over here contains the word printer. So I can easily find out that these are the items which are related to the printer items, the printer product name. So this is the kind of a wildcard filter that you can apply in your report. The next filter that I'm going to talk about is a visual level filter. So let me click on this particular new sheet and let me rename it as a visual filter. The visual filter is a very important kind of filter which actually allows you to filter the top performers, the lowlights and highlights in your report. It's a very important filter. For example, what I can use a scatter plot for this particular example. I wanted to understand the relationship between sales and profit in terms of order ID. What I want, let me create a scatter plot where I'll be showing the relationship between sales and profit in terms of order ID. So I will select the order ID from the dimension. I will hold on my control key and I'll go and select the sales and the profit from the measures. Go to show me and let me select the scatter plot this time. Now you can see the moment I select the scatter plot, all the order ID has been plotted in terms of sales and profit. The next thing what I can do, I can bring the customer segment over to the color mark in order to understand which order ID belongs to which customer segment. So there are 4 important customer segments that we're dealing with: the consumer, the corporate, home office and small business. Now what I can see out of this particular report, the scatter plot, one particular item is standing out from this particular cluster. Now this is a extreme value item which has a highest profit and a highest sales value. If you can hover my mouse, this particular order ID, that is 29766, having a highest profit and highest sales value among this particular report. What I want to exclude this particular value from here. So this outlier should be excluded in this report. So I can hover your mouse on this, and if I do a right click, there's an option over here called keep only and exclude. Keep only means if I select keep only this particular value will be there in this report, and if I click exclude, then this particular value will be removed from this report. There's one more way. If I select this particular value, you can see, and now if I hover my mouse on this, I'm getting a tooltip of keep only and exclude over here also. So what I can do, I can exclude this value. I have removed this particular value from the report, and you can see the other order ID has been properly aligned over this particular plot area. Now this is a visual filter. One more example of visual filter is, suppose I want to highlight this particular area. I've selected this particular area, and if I hover my mouse on any one of the order ID, I can see that I have selected 97 items from this particular area, and I can choose to keep only these items. So this is a visual level filter which we apply directly on the visual. We can select a particular area and we can choose to keep or exclude those values from there. Now I can also apply the filter on this particular customer segment also. For example, if I select small business, you can see I'm getting an option called keep only and exclude. If I select consumer, I'm getting the same option. So I can just keep or exclude the home office from there, and I can keep the other customer segments in terms of the sales and profit. So this is a visual level filter. One more example of a visual level filter which we can do is by using a different graph, is by using the subcategory and profit, where I can create a bar graph. I can sort it, and if I want to remove the negative values, I can just select the values and I can exclude those values from the report. I can keep only positive profit from here. So we can use a visual level filter in a different bar graph also, where we can use this particular option to remove the negative values from a particular report. So this was a visual level filter that we can apply on any of the visuals. The next filter is a very important filter, is called a date filter. Now let me create an example for that. What I want to see the sales value in terms of the order date. So I have a date component in my report that is there under the dimension section. Now what I can do, I can use this particular order date and the sum, and you can create a option over here, a report bar graph. And what you can do, you can swap the rows and columns and you can create a report in terms of the order date, where we can see by default we can see the sales in terms of years starting from 2015, 16, 17 and 18. Now one interesting thing that I want to highlight over here is, as I said earlier, when you use a date component in a report, there is a default hierarchy that is created. If you can see the date in the column shelf, there is a plus sign associated. So where we can use this particular plus sign to bifurcate this report in terms of, we can drill through this particular report in terms of quarter, month and days, where I can know the sales in terms of day, quarter and month. I can also reduce this particular option by selecting the minus sign. Now let me ask you a question. What if I want to compare the values of the quarter one for each of the year? I want to compare the sales for the quarter 1 for the year 2015, 16, 17 and 18. Can you just tell me which kind of filter I should apply over here? You can just comment your answers on the chat window, guys, so that people who are not getting the answer can easily understand the concept. I repeat, the scenario is I want to compare the sales of the quarter 1 for each of the year from starting from 2015 to 18. So which kind of filter should I go for? Can you just think for 2 minutes and you can just reply me on the chat window. The business scenario is I want to apply a filter over here where I want to compare the quarter 1 for each of the year. Now the answer is we can go for a visual level filter. What I can do, I can select quarter 1 for 2016. I can hold on my control key and quarter 1 for each of the year, and now I can keep only this particular 4 quarter from each of the year. Now you can see that I am able to apply a visual level filter on this particular report, and I was able to compare the sales in terms of quarter 1 for each of the year. Now the same thing I can do it with the help of one more option. How? What I can do, I can select the order date from the dimension column. I can drag it over the filter shelf, and the moment I drag it, I've got a pop-up option where I can see all the time components related to this particular order date. I can see the time components in terms of year, quarter, month, days, week numbers, weekdays, individual dates, etc. Right? What I want to see, I want to apply the same analysis where I want to get the quarter 1 results for each of the year. I can select the year first, click on next, where I can see all the years selected, click on apply, OK, and I can choose to show this particular filter, and you can see the years are already updated in the right hand side. Again, I can go over here in order date and bring it to the filter shelf, and this time let me select the quarter option. Click on next, and I can see all the quarter from the option, right? I can click on apply, OK, and you can see the filter shelf has been updated with the quarter details. Click over here, select show filter, and now if I select quarter 1 from the above option and if I select all, I am getting the same analysis that I can do over here, where I was looking for comparing the Q1 result for each year. So this is how we can apply the business scenario. Now let us explore the date filter to the next level. What I want to apply a filter to this particular report in terms of date range. So let me remove these filters, and what I can do, I can select the order date again, and I can bring it to the filter shelf, and you can see there is a range of date over here. So I select the range of dates over here, click on next, and I'll be taken to a new pop-up menu option where I can see the start date and the end date. Now I can edit the start date and the end date as per my convenience. So let me keep the start date as 2015, and let me keep the end date at 2018, and let me change this particular date from 18 to 2017, and instead of December, let me keep it as June. Let me apply OK, and you can see the order date filter has been updated in the filter shelf. If I click on show filter now, I'll be getting a slider option where I can select the date range. I can adjust the date range as per my convenience, and I can change this report accordingly. One more way of applying a date filter is, if I want to know the month and the year simultaneously along with the same value, how can I apply that kind of filter? For example, if I drag this order date in the filter shelf, there is an option over here called month and year just below the weekdays option. If I select the month and year, click on next, I can select all the value, click on apply, OK, come to this particular filter in the filter shelf, click on show filter, and I have got the whole range of month according as per the year starting from 2015 to 2018. Now I can compare each month. If I want to compare the sales of month of January of 2015 with that of 2016, I have the sales for the month of Jan for 2015 compared to 2016. I can do further analysis in terms of January 2017 and 18. So this is the month sales of the month of Jan, and we can see 2015 was performing good as compared to the other 3 years. So this is one way. So I'm showing you all the possible options that we can use by using the date filter. Date component of any reporting process is a very important feature. So in terms of date, we can do all the major reporting that has been conducted, that we do on a day-to-day basis. Date plays a very important role. So in Tableau, we can use this particular date filter as per your convenience and as per the business requirement. One more way we can use the date filter is by using the relative date option. Let me show you how. I'll drag this particular, I'll select this order date, I'll bring it to the filter shelf, and there's an option over here called relative date at the very top, and you can click on next, and here we can do some cumulative calculations like year, quarter, month, weeks, days. Now if I select a year, under year option we have like previous year, last year, this year, next year, year to date. Now for example, if I select last 3 years, what we'll do, this particular last 3 year option will show you the sales of the last year considering the present date and time that is there in your system. It will compare the sales by considering the present date and time from your computer, and will produce the last 3 years of sales. For example, if I select last 3 years and apply, considering 2020, just a minute, there's some issue over here. Let me apply it once more. If I say last 3, it will only show me 2018 sales because it will consider 2020-19. So as we don't have a 2019 sales, it will only show. Just a minute. I select the order date and I go to the relative date option, and I select the year, last 3 years, apply, and you can see that I am only able to see 2018 sales because 2019 and 20 is not there. So this is how we can use this particular option over here. Now what it does, when I am selecting last 3 years, considering the present year, that is 2020, the system is calculating last 3 years of sales, where our data report has only 2018 with us. Now what if I want to change this particular option? I don't want this particular option to take the present date. In that case, what you have to do, you have to go and select this anchor relative. You have to check mark this particular box, and you can see, I can see the present date over here. Now I can change this particular date. I can make it 2018, and if I apply 2018 over here, then 3 years sales from 2018 will be calculated. If I apply like this, okay, then you can see 2018, 17, 16 all has been taken into consideration. So this is how we can apply the order date option, and this is how we can play around with this particular. Now similarly, you can do the same thing in terms of quarter, month, weeks, days. You can change it to range of date option. You can go to the relative date option over here. I would like to request all the learners over here to just explore this particular option, and you can just create some good report using this particular order date option and this date filter. Now this is all about the date filter that I wanted to discuss with you. This is all about the filters that we can work in Tableau. However, there are some advanced level filter which I have planned to take on my upcoming sessions, like context filter, for example, working with animated filters. So these are advanced level filters which I will be taking in my upcoming sessions. The next topic that I'm going to talk about is sets. Now, what are sets? Sets is nothing but creating or aggregating the members of your data, creating a subset from a main table. Now, the importance of set in Tableau, it allows you to highlight certain sections of your data and to use that particular option to do further analysis. So you create a subset from an existing big table or a big set of data, and you create a particular, you aggregate a particular members of your data set, and you keep them, you create a set out of that, and you can use that particular section for further analysis. Now the question is, what is the difference between sets and groups? So I have discussed about grouping in my last session. Grouping is nothing but it reduces the member of a dimension. Grouping gives a new table as a result of applying the grouping option. But set will always create a different subset. It will not reduce the member, but it will create a different subset from the existing main table or the main list of data. So let us see how we can apply the concept of sets in our data. So what I can do, I can take a new worksheet, and let's name this particular worksheet as a set. And what I want to know, create a report with by including the customer name, holding down my control key and selecting the sales, go to show me, and let me create a report out of it. So what I have used a customer name and the sales measure to create a report. Now if I sort this particular report, let me create a set of the top 10 customers in terms of sales. So what I want to create a set of top 10 sales over here. So for that, what I can do, I can select the first customer, hold down my shift key, count till 10, and I've selected the top 10 customer. Now if I hover my mouse on the selected area, I'm getting options like keep only, exclude, and over in the extreme end you can see a symbol of a Venn diagram. Now this is a symbol of a set. Now if you click on this particular option, you can get a create set option over here. Now if I click on this, I can name this set as top 10 sales, and I click OK. Now the moment I click OK, you can see just below the measure section there is one more section that has been created, that is sets. Now what I can do, I can use this set for further analysis. For example, if I remove this customer name from here and if I bring the set in this particular row shelf, you can see there are two parameters, two arguments that this particular set takes, in and out. The in means the people who are member of that particular set, and out means the data which are not part of that particular set. And how we can know that? If I bring the customer name back to this row shelf beside this set value, you can see in the in section we can find all the top 10 customers and the other customers being listed outside the set. I have an option to remove this, to exclude this particular out argument. I can right click on this particular option and I can choose to hide this, and I will be left only with the in value. I can further format this particular in value. I can right click on this and I can change the name of this particular in. If you remember, I've discussed about alias in my yesterday's session, right? So if I click on edit alias, I can name this as top 10 sales. And you can see the name has been changed. I can further format it. I can do a right click, click on format, select the alignment option from here, and I can align it. I can format it. I can further remove this particular options from here, and I can keep only the other options, only the customer names from here as a part of the set. The same thing I can create in terms of profit. So I can select the customer name, profit, go to show me, click on this particular bar graph, sort it in descending order. Now there's a gap between the customer name and the profit over here. This gap is just because of the negative profit that we have in this particular data set. If I can come down, these are the negative profit. You can see the values are in minus. That's why there's a gap in the axis. There's some negative values. What I want the top 10 profit. So I can select the first name, count till 10, and I can create a set out of this particular option. So I can name this particular option as top 10 profit. And if I remove this customer name and if I bring the top profit over here, I can get the same option over here where I can bring the customer name. I can remove the out members from here. I can also remove these options from over here. And I can keep only the profit over the customers. So we have created two sets from this particular data. The third set that I am going to create is a combined set. Now this is a very important concept. We can combine these two sets over here. How? What I can do, I can select any of the sets over here, like the sales, top 10 sales. I can click over this particular arrow, and over here we can see the create combined set. If I click on this, I've got a option over here where I can combine these two sets. Now there are a lot of things that we need to focus on this particular option. Let me first change this particular set name and name it as combine values. And you can see the primary set over here is a top 10 set, and just beside it you can see the top 10 profit. Now if you can come down over here, there are four kinds of combination, four kinds of option that we have to combine these two sets. The first option is the union. Now these particular options are similar to the join operation that we perform in SQL on a database join, but these are slightly different from them. I will be talking about the join operations, how we can perform in Tableau, and what is the difference between joining and blending all. Now if you can see, the first option over here is a kind of a full join, which will take all the members from both the set. The second is a kind of a option of inner join, where all the shared members from both the set will be selected. The third option is a left kind of join, but over here this left join is different from the join that we have in SQL or in database. Over there in left join, we not only select the left data, table data, but also all the matching data. But over here, if you can see, only the data from the left set will be selected, not even the matching data or the data from the right set. The same things applies for the right join also. Now for this particular option, we'll go for the second one, that is inner join. Now the scenario is, I wanted to know the customers who not only bring sales but also profit to the organization. So there are two kinds of customers who do a regular sales with your company, but there are certain customers who also do sales and also bring profit to the organization. So I want to understand between these two set of the top 10 sales and the top 10 profit, who are the customers who also do sales with us and also give us profit on a year-on-year basis. So I will be going for the second option over here, and I will click on OK. And now let me remove these particular options from here, and let me use this combined values over here. And now if I bring the customer name beside it, I can see these are the 4 customers who not only bring sales but also profit. Now if I remove this profit, replace this profit with sales, you can see these are the customers who not only bring profit but also sales with us. So this is how we can combine set. We can combine two sets and we can analyze this particular set in terms of doing further analysis. Now one more way of creating a set is a dynamic set. For that, what I can do, so this is how we can combine two sets. Now I'll request you guys to explore this particular session of combined set. There are a lot of new things that you can also explore from your end, because different people have a different approach to understand any particular concept. The next scenario that I'm going to discuss is all about a dynamic set. What I can do, I can click on this particular, I can clear this particular screen, and I can prepare a report on the basis of customer name, and I will select the sales this time. Now what I want to create a dynamic set of top 100 customers. It's not possible for me to select the top 100 customers from here manually, right? So what I can do, I can go to this particular customer name and I can select it on this drop down and go to create and select set option from here. And I can name it this as a top 100 sales, and we have 3 options over here: general, condition, and top. I will be talking about these two in the advanced level of discussion when I will be talking about the advanced filters and all. In that time I'll be talking about these 2 options. For now, let's concentrate on the top value option over here. What I have done, let me show you again. I created a report in terms of customer name. I'll select the customer name, click on this particular icon, go to create, select set, and I'll go to top and I will name this set as top 100. And in this particular top option, I will go by field. Now in this particular option, you can see there are 2 options, top and bottom. I will go to the top option and I will select 100 over here. And we can see that as we are working on the sales report, the sales field is already updated. However, you can select the field of your choice over here as per the requirement. And the aggregate value over is sum. Now if I click OK, you can see there is a top 100 set that has been created. Now I can remove this customer name and I can bring the top 100 over here, and if I bring the customer name over here beside this, I have the top 100 customers, and you can choose to hide this out option, and these are the top 100 customers who has given us sales. It's arranged in alphabetical order. So this is how we can create a dynamic set, and this is all about a set that I want to discuss with you. However, I'll be coming up with some advanced level of sets in my upcoming sessions, where I'll be talking about advanced filters, how we can integrate filters and sets, how we can use formulas within a set. So I hope this was clear. This was the agendas for today's discussions in this particular session about filters and sets. In my next upcoming session, I'll be talking about parameters, where I'll be showing you how we can use the parameter for doing some in-depth analysis, what are the rules for creating parameters, and how we can integrate parameters, the different report through actions, and how we can use formulas within parameters. So next class there will be an introduction on how we can use formulas in Tableau through calculated columns, and what is the rules for using the formulas. So this was all for today's discussion. Let's meet tomorrow at 4:30 for our SQL discussion and 8 o'clock for advanced Excel. I'm coming up with some interesting topics on both of these tools. So please follow my video. Please like and share our iNeuron YouTube channel. So that was all for today. Stay safe and keep learning, guys.